I am Sangeetha, Assistant Professor, Department of Costume Design and Fashion. This is the lecture video. Today we are going to see about the formations, the fabric formation innovations in weft versus warp knitting. Weft knitting and versus warp knitting. The two distinct approaches to loop formation is shaping a different world of textile performance. Knitting has two different category. One is the weft knitting, another one is a warp knitting. Okay, so first we are going to see about interlocking loops. Okay, the shared foundation, interlocking loops. Loop formation. Both methods interlocks yarn into continuous fabric. Yarn orientation. Direction of feed defines the structure and behavior. End result. Two distinct families of textile performance. At either core, both weft and warp knitting transform yarn into fabric through the same fundamental mechanism. Precise the loop intermixing. The critical difference lies in yarn orientation and feed direction. Distinctions that drives two entirely different categories of modern textile performance. Weft knitting, the horizontal flow, single yarn path. One yarn travels across the fabric with forming loops rows by row in sequence. Sequential formations, needle act one after another, building the fabric progressively from edge to edge. Soft and stretchable, produces fabric with the excellent drape, elasticity and comfort, ideal for apparels. The next one is warp knitting, the vertical strength. Warp knitting yarns is passed through the machines in a vertical directions. Multiple yarn beams. In weft knitting, warp knitting machine, multiple yarn beams are mounted on the machine. Many yarns run longitudinally along the fabric length simultaneously. Simultaneous knitting. All needles knit in every cycle, a highly efficient synchronized process. Stable structures. Produce a dimensionally stable, complex fabric resistant to unraveling. Mechanical comparison. How they move. Weft knitting, single yarn, horizontal rows, sequential needles. Warp knitting, multiple yarns, vertical feeds, all knit active. The mechanical distinctions is fundamentals. Weft knitting feeds one yarn horizontally, while warp knitting guides many yarns vertically in parallel. This difference makes the warp knitting significantly faster, large scale, high density production runs. Performance characteristics. Stretch and elasticity. Weft offers superior width-wise stretch, conforming naturally to body movement, the hallmark of comfortable apparels. Dimensional stability. Warp provides the tighter dimensional control, maintaining a shape under tension, critical for technical and performance textile. Fabric integrity. Warp fabric resists laddering if an yarn breaks, thanks to interlocked vertical yarn path that distributes stress. Weft knit structure. Single jersey, smooth face, curled edges, the most common knit. Rib and interlock. Double faced, stable with excellent recovery. Tricot, fine, smooth and run resistance. Lingeries and linings. Tassels, open, lacy or tense, versatile for technical users. Pearl, reversible texture used in heavy sweaters, melanges. Diagonal patterning, expressional stability and drape. Choose weft for comfort driven designs. Choose warp for engineered performance. Industrial applications. Apparels. Weft dominates t-shirts. This chart is explain about the uses, industrial applications of warp knitted fabric and weft knitted fabric. First, we are going to see about weft knitted fabric. Weft knitted fabric are used in different cloth sectors like t-shirts, sweaters, hosiery, and everyday fashion relays on weft knitting. It has characteristics like softness, stretch, and rapid pattern variations. Then warp leads to sportswear, medical textile, geotextile, and mixture demand warp knittings. Stability, strength, and presence. Economical weft wins. For cost effective, quick turn fashion products, weft knitting is similar machineries and setup offer clear advantages. Okay, the difference at a glance. Weft knitting, yarn feed, single yarn. Then warp knitting, and so the yarn is feed, multiple yarns is feeded in a weft knitting machine. Direction, it's a yarn processed through the horizontal directions. And in warp knitting, yarn feed in vertical directions. Needle actions, sequential needles, simultaneous. Stretch high with wide stretch, moderate stretch it has. Warp knitting has stability, lower curl at edges, high flat edges. Best for apparel and comfort. Warp knitting is best for technical and for special performance fabrics. Conclusion, choosing the right stitch. Select weft for comfort when drape, stretch, and softness or the priority. Everyday apparels, hosieries, and fashion forwarded designs. Select a warp for performance when durability, dimensional stability, and technical presence are required. Sportswear, medical, and industrial applications. Master the principles. Understanding the weft and warp fundamentals in the first step toward advanced textile engineering and informed material selections. Thank you. This is about warp knitting and weft knitting performance in industries. Thank you.